Life is short.
Life is short.
Like people say life is long, and it's long. But if you think about it, going off of a traditional life, you go to school for like 14 fucking years,
Yes.
and then you go to college for a few years.
Yeah.
And by the time you're out of college, you're in your 20s,
Yeah.
right? Traditionally, you get married like what, mid 20s,
Yeah.
late 20s,
Have kids.
and then you start your adult life, and then you work for the rest of your life.
Literally.
So you're working for the rest of your life.
This fucking sucks.
And then I'd like to debate that. I mean, I guess it's kind of biased because I haven't lived the parenthood life yet. But I'd like to debate that your younger years would be the best years of your life.
Yeah, probably.
But I guess I don't know if that's really comparable because I haven't been a parent.
Yeah. And I
Thankfully,
guess I mean
yeah.
it's different when you have a kid because like parents
Yeah, I
like,
guess it'll
love their kids.
your mind will change. But right now you're like you're free. You have the energy. You're young. You get to travel and stuff if you have the money and you're just like getting life started.
Mm-hmm.
So taking that, if that is true that your younger life is the best part of your life,
Mm-hmm.
dude, your life is over quick.
Yeah. I
Like
mean,
once you
honestly,
grow up, once you hit college and then you go through your years of college, if you go to college, say you don't go to college, you
Yeah.
enter the workforce right out of
high
senior
school,
year.
Yeah.
You're-
I mean, it's done.
And you're what, 18, 19?
right.
Bruh, that's so short.
I know. it
That's
is
so
really
short.
And like, it doesn't. Your life doesn't necessarily stop when you become an
Yeah, it doesn't
adult,
stop, but like
But I get what you mean though. Like,
it's kind of scary.
it's scary. And also what sucks with this, like for me, it's like I've always been the person that's always like, oh, well, you'll have time. You'll have time. And it's true. You will have time. But ever since COVID, I've just been like so antsy. Like I just want to do something. And it's like, obviously there's not, I mean, you can't do anything, but like
and,
just like that.
and especially
idea,
now
Yeah.
that we're getting our best years of our life
Yeah.
wasted.
Yeah. It
Bro,
feels
it
like shit. It
sucks.
feels like shit.
Fuck you, COVID. Fuck you, COVID.
No, but that's like such a good point though. Is like obviously your life doesn't have to end when you become an adult.
Yeah, it's
But,
what
like,
you make it for
It's
sure.
what you make it, but it's like this idea of like it feels like you're racing the clock all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And it feels like it's like I'm like, oh well, I have to do this in school, and then it's like you have all these standards and stuff that you uphold for yourself, and then you see people that are like doing all this shit, like living on the beach or like doing all this shit. You're like, I wish I could do that.
Yeah, it's made me realize after thinking of this, it's made me realize these are just like social constructs that you have to hit these points at certain ages.
Exactly.
Really?
You don't
need to.
You don't
So if you're
have
feeling
to.
like rushed in life, like you
Well,
don't
I mean,
have to.
and
Like you don't need to get married by a certain age.
You don't have to have kids by a certain age.
Like some things it'd be nice and it can work out in certain ways, but really, who's it benefiting in the end?
literally, like that's a thing that I think that I've thought a lot about too, is that like I have been so like hellbent on like doing certain things a certain way, and I'm like, oh, I could never do that because of like this and this, even though I really want to. And I'm like, dude, why though?
Yeah, why not?
Like, why
You're
not?
living once.
Like it's
YOLO.
like YOLO.
Literally YOLO.
Like no, but I totally get that. Like I feel like that's something that like not a good thing about, like nothing's good about COVID, but like something that's like put into perspective from like being on halt or on a standstill because the pandemic is like, once everything is safe and once everything is like over, like what the fuck is stopping you from doing what you want besides like circumstance and like things? But like people are like, oh, I can't do that. Like I'm always like, oh, I can't do that because of like this.
Yeah,
Fuck
bro,
it, dude.
just do
Just
it.
do it. Honestly, like at this point, when it's safe, when you can do it safely and you can have the means to do things that you want to do, fucking do it. Because honestly, like this idea of like you have to do this by a certain age and you have to be ready to do this at a certain age and you have to work for the rest of your life, that can fucking wait.
That
in my
sucks.
opinion.
Working for the rest of your
life.
That's something that I'm scared of. That's my number one fear right now.
It's like having to work a shitty job
Like,
for the rest
bro,
of your life.
I'm a sophomore, and if I graduate in 2 years, I entered the normal workforce, and that's the rest of my life.
That's it.
Fuck that.
Fuck that.
Literally, fuck that.
No, and
I need to get into my dream life that I've been dreaming forever, and I'm just waiting for that breakthrough.
Right.
But it's just hard. You don't know.
Yeah, and then
you don't know.
No, I agree with that. And I think another thing is like, I think this is cliche, but I do think there's merit to it, is like the living for the weekend shit. like there's 7 days in a week and we just like are looking forward to 2 of them because we have nothing to do those days and we can do what we want. And like I hate that narrative. Like I wish that like that's that whole thing with like what you're saying, like wanting your dream life of like I want to have a life where I'm looking forward to every single day and I want to live every single day. And I hate the construct and I hate the fucking confines of like 9 to fucking 5 days a week.
I'm really not trying to live a normal job life.
Right.
Like I really, like I know a lot of people say that.
Yeah.
But that's because they don't like realize the work that goes into like other like cool jobs.
Right.
But I know for a fact that I do not want a normal corporate ass job.
I totally get that.
Like I can't, like it is for some people. Some people like that.
And that's totally fine. It's not.
But I know for sure that I do not want that life.
No,
I've never wanted that life.
No, me neither.
I've never wanted that life. I just want.
And like, there's nothing wrong with it. Obviously, I think the main takeaway of it is mostly like I think that like it's not about what you do, but I think it's about like doing what you want, and that's something that's like really hard to like to give yourself because we live in this society where it's like it feels like we're doing things because we have to do them.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's like there's no intrinsic motivation when it comes to this shit, and that's exactly how I think it would feel for me personally if I was living a life like that where I'm working some 9 to 5 job. Like I'm not intrinsically motivated. I'm doing these things because I have to, and that's like my biggest fear. And I know that sounds so like privileged and like cliche, but it's so true. And that's something that's like I already said has been put into perspective of just the fact that it's like life is on standstill. What the fuck is stopping you from doing what you want to do after
and
this
especially
is all over?
To our earlier point, life is short.
Life is
like
short.
It's literally so
life
short.
Is so short.
And it can be, and that's assuming that you're lucky enough to live your full life.
Exactly.
Like some people have it cut off early, and it's really unfortunate too. That's why. And with these things, I have in my life notes.
Life notes
With Michael. Make everything a foundation of what you're going to do in the future.
I like that one.
So I feel like everything you should do should be for a purpose in the future. So maybe, here, like right now, I'm in college. Do I like college? Do I like school? Not really. But do I have to do it? Do I have to do it to be able to do the things I'm doing right now or want to do in the future? Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but if it's not serving a purpose and you're still doing it, ask yourself,
why am I doing this?
Is it worth it?
Is it worth it?
But if it's serving a greater purpose in the end, then yeah.
No, I really like that. That's actually a really good point. And I think it's really hard for us to like we do live in a selfish society for sure, and like a self-centered society. Like I mean, it's an individualistic culture, so obviously that's going to happen.
Like how?
Like well, America's an individualistic culture. And because I mean, we're in a capitalist system, and essentially like the idea of like an individualistic culture is like you live for yourself, you work for yourself, everything that you're doing is centered and based on yourself, which is fine. Like that's
cuz I think it's fine because you can't help your here, let's example. When you're on the plane and your plane's going down, the mask come down.
Yeah.
The first thing you're told to do is put it on yourself, then help others.
Yeah.
I don't think you can help other people before you help yourself. But if you help yourself first, maybe you're able to help 10 more people or more better.
Yeah. I agree with that. And I totally agree with that. And I think that like being in this like self-centered society, like obviously people are making decisions for themselves to benefit themselves, which is fine. But I feel like my point that I was going to make is like, I feel like a lot of times, especially for us, like the younger generation, is like all of the decisions we make and everything we do is to benefit something that is like almost outside of ourselves. Like it feels like we're not necessarily, because like, you know, like if it was up to us, we probably would be doing like something very different than what we're doing right now. Like, and like it's like the whole idea and like the pressure of like you have to go to school, you have to do this to get a good job, you have to do this to get a good life, and which is, you know, I mean, that's life. It's fine. I'm not going to sit here and like whine for the whole podcast.
It's really because the security of everything.
Exactly.
That's I feel like that's the main reason why we do these things, because it's the security. Like if you look at the most successful people, they didn't take the secure route.
Right. They risked what we would consider. They would do what we consider took risk, like at least like
Yeah, and some
financially,
people are
like-
just like, oh, that's crazy.
yeah,
But with the risk comes reward.
True.
But yeah, some people don't like the risk.
I mean, I'm one of those people.
It's scary.
It's scary.
It's hard because there are people that take that risk and
They fail.
they fail
Like,
and they don't
literally.
get back up.
I know, and it sucks. And I think that that's something that I was kind of getting at too, is like I am still obviously very afraid of the risk, but like part of me is so antsy that I feel like now after like being in this type of situation, when things like clear up and stuff like that, I feel like I would be more inclined to take a risk, just because like the idea of like when you've been living the same day, the same day, the idea of doing something different is so sexy.
Here's the big question.
Okay.
If you know the risk you need to take it's gonna happen and you're gonna be successful, what are you doing?
What do you mean?
Like just with your life right now, what are you gonna do?
Like if
you know what you want to do right now,
well,
is 100% and it's gonna happen.
Like what do I want to do with my life?
Yeah, what do you want to do with your life?
I mean, okay. So
Let's hear
ultimately, I don't like to talk about things because I don't want to jinx things, but it's okay.
So you're a jinxer?
Yeah,
I'm a
jinxer.
manifester.
I've never tried manifesting because I just don't know, because I feel like I have really bad luck. But like I really want to do I want to go to law school, hopefully. Fingers crossed, we'll see. But
so you like school?
I do like school. I used to like school, and then
Okay.
COVID happened, and I was like, I would literally rather gnaw a brick than do school. So I really did want to go to law school, and like I kind of have just like, it's so lame, but I want to go to California so bad. Like I feel like it'd be so fun.
I did want to go to California until it's going down.
It's going down.
Everyone's leaving.
I know.
Everyone's
going
leaving.
Down. It's COVID capital.
Everyone's leaving.
It's like
I was watching a
vlog.
vlog.
Yeah.
I was watching a vlog. It looks like pre-COVID. Everyone's out on Venice Beach,
it's scary.
and no one's wearing masks. That's crazy.
No, it's scary as fuck. I agree. It's fucked up there.
So what do you want to do with your law school?
Well, I mean, okay, so there's like a lot of different routes that I can take, but
dream
like
nothing. It's happening.
I want to
Literally,
do
it's
entertainment law so bad.
What is that?
It's
so
like
TV shows
or like either TV shows, sometimes the music industry, like the movie
cool.
industry,
Mm-hmm.
because like I feel like it'd be so fun because like they just like I don't know like the I know it's like obviously like the dream aspect of it is obviously a lot better than the actual like stuff with it, but it's such a like I know, but it's like that vibe of like just like doing all this like stupid shit and like being in like LA, but also like being like I just like the idea of like doing law and stuff like that, which like seems like I like cool. Not to romanticize it, but like it seems fun as fuck. Like I don't know, something I like.
So are you trying to pursue that? Are you going to take the steps to get towards that, or are you just doing your normal college?
I mean, I'm attempting. I've always like been going through college trying to get into law school though.
Wait, so what? How do you do that? You have to get your degree in poli-sci and then apply for law school?
Yeah, law school doesn't really care about your major that much.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the nice thing about it. Like obviously there's some majors that help over others, but there's so many different facets of law that like your skill set will probably, if you're like good enough and you have good grades, like your skill set will probably be like applicable somewhere. And like poli-sci is a pretty good major for law school, I feel like. I mean, at least here. It's not really,
do it.
And honestly, at this point, bro.
Another thing, life notes. Not anything is possible. Anything is one thing.
What?
Everything is possible. Everything is possible. That leaves room open for everything. Because if you say anything is possible, that's just one thing.
That's such a good point.
Like, I don't want my life to be like my dream life. I don't want to do the same thing for the rest of my life. I want to do this. Boom, that's closed. Move on. Another big thing. This. Boom, move on. And I've kind of done that on a very smaller scale with my hobbies. Like,
yeah, you have so many hobbies.
Our streetwear reselling. Boom. I've done that.
Yeah.
Podcast. Boom. Done that. YouTube. Boom. Done that. I want to do that on a bigger scale to where that's my career and I'm able to live off of it and not have to go to a 9-to-5 job.
I totally get that.
Like those people, like sometimes they're just not. They're chilling.
Yeah.
Well, they're not chilling, but they're not confined to a time contract. Right. You're just able to work on your projects that you want to do. And
see, I think that should be like. I think that's such a good point. Like, why should we have to do the same thing for the rest of our lives?
I mean, you don't. Yeah, I guess you don't have to, but it's just
But
like,
it's like the,
it's the way it
It's what
happens.
happens,
'Cause
and it's
you get
also the
comfortable.
expectation.
And I do not want to get comfortable with one thing.
Yeah.
Because that happens. People get comfortable with a thing, and then they do that for the rest of their life. They're like, oh, I'm just happy with it. It's fine.
Right.
They don't
Which I
wanna move on.
understand. And I'm definitely a creature of habit. So I
And some
totally get
people,
that.
it's right for some people. The world needs janitors. Like-
True. Like it's like, no, I totally agree with that. Like there's like, I'm not like trying to shit on one way of life over the other.
Yeah.
My thing is more at the overall concept and
Yeah.
like the expectation
And it's just what
that everybody has
I
to live
want
the same
do,
way.
yeah.
Exactly.
Different strokes for different
Exactly. And also I'm just like, I'm a dreamer as fuck. Like I know that's really like ugh, but like I just like, I've always like had like big dreams, I guess.
folks.
And like I don't know, it's because I just always want to be doing
I
something.
know.